people around the world have been victims of identity theft, and this is no different in Kenya, where many people have also fallen prey to identity fraudsters. So what is identity theft? How does it affect you, and why should you care? Though there are different types of identity theft, today we will be looking at mobile phone identity theft. Mobile phone identity theft happens when someone gets access of your personal data like your phone number, your national ID, and your secret PIN with the intention of stealing from you. Over 10 million Kenyans, or 25% of Kenya's 43 million mobile phone users, have been victims of SIM swap fraud. The survey also reveals that 90% of Kenyan banking leaders see SIM swap fraud as a serious threat in the sector, in what is becoming one of the rising global crimes involving mobile phones. So how does this happen? It's actually quite simple. Once someone has your personal data, that's your name, ID number, phone number, email address, and even physical address, they're able to impersonate you. Because it's easy to give away your personal data without knowing it could be used to harm you. For instance, when you register your phone and ID details with a watchman when you visit buildings, fraudsters can access that information with the intention of impersonating you. With this information, the perpetrator can withdraw money from your bank account, make online purchases, or even access credit as you. But how else can these fraudsters access such personal data about you? One is dumpster diving. What this means is all someone has to do is have access to your postal mail or access information from electronics that you have thrown away but haven't had their hard drives wiped. That is your phone, computer, or laptop. The second is social engineering or phishing. This is when a fraudster tricks you into sharing your information. They do this by pretending to be a trusted person or organization. Think of those committee guys that call pretending to be from Safaricom or a lottery company, claiming you won the jackpot, but they first need you to confirm some personal details about yourself.
When that information comes to the bureau, for us, we look at the ID, and we'll verify with the IPRS, and it will be genuine. But the person behind it is not genuine. So what they will do is that they'll then pull, that account will be established in your name, and they will take credit from your name, but you are not aware that that is happening. And so depending on their intention, they could build up debt on your profile for a period of 6 up to 1 year, particularly if you are not an active borrower.
Telecommunication companies and digital lenders have been experiencing this form of identity theft for a while now. SIM swap fraud is one of the most prolific forms of fraud in Kenya. Once the perpetrator acquires a second line using your details, they can get mobile loans in your name and your credit can be ruined.
In Kenya, the manifestation of identity theft has been mainly in the mobile money sector, where people create another you, then probably trigger a SIM swap, or they go and use that personal information to ask for a loan and never repay it. And when you as an individual go and ask for a loan, let's say from a bank, you find yourself listed as a loan defaulter, but you never got into that transaction.
That's what happened to John earlier this year.
Early in the year, I was dealing with a SACCO, Savings and Credit Cooperative, that I saved some money, and I wanted to take a facility. So one day I was called by a manager at the SACCO, and they asked me, why do you have such a small mobile banking loan, and why haven't you paid it? So I asked him, what do you mean? And he told me they had done a check on my credit report, and they had established that I had a small loan that I had taken from a mobile banking facility, which I found strange because I had never had a reason to take a loan from a mobile bank, and I certainly had no history. I don't even have those apps that you download, for borrowing. I think there's plenty of them. So that caught me by surprise, and then that prompted me to download my credit report and to then see that there was someone who had sometime in September last year, 2019, registered a number and used my details. So the only thing that was not mine on that credit report was the number used, and there was also a strange email address. So that's when I realized I have been a victim of identity theft.
If this happens to you, or should it happen to someone you know, then here's what you need to do.
If somebody has created another you and is engaging in crime, first thing is to alert the service provider. Call them and tell them that there's this transaction. It's been done with an identity that's similar to mine, but it is not me. If it's your bank, you notify them as soon as possible. Second thing is to alert the authorities. The DCI are very keen on. They have very good systems in investigating cybercrime these days, and you alert them so that they will take action and start the investigation. And then also alert people within your circles, those who you transact with. Do not respond to any distress call for money that from this number, because that line has been stolen.
Although identity theft is fueled by technology, there is a lot that mobile lenders, telcos, and credit regulators can do to arrest the situation.
The first thing we're doing is that we use an IMSI solution that if you change your number, right, your SIM card has a special serial number, that we are notified as the lenders that this number is not using an older IMSI. So there's a thing called age of SIM, right? The second thing we're doing is that if somebody's ID is registered on another SIM card, and that ID number already has a primary number attributed to it in our database, at Safaricom's database and at the Credit Bureau database, that number will be notified that somebody is registering an account with your ID. Is it you or no? And if you say no, that line will be extinguished. If you say yes, it will be added onto all the various ecosystem databases that exist.
We have developed an app called Cristobal that borrowers use to access resources from the bureau in their profile. And so when you register, you first of all get your free credit report, and subsequently you can continuously keep checking who activities on the profile. But we also have an alert system which can alert you anytime an event occurs on your profile. Could be a change in score, could be a new credit facility, a new request coming in, could be an inquiry, somebody making an inquiry on your profile. We'll give you those alerts so that you try to find out what would perhaps be happening.
As part of Safaricom's increased efforts to protect customers from identity theft fraud, they launched the Tuanike tool, a tool which will notify a customer when there's an attempt to register a new line with their national ID. Though all these efforts are good, in order to support these organizations, Parliament has also passed the Data Protection Bill in order to reduce the current rampant misuse of individual data.
The purpose of the data protection law is to limit the use of personal information to the agreed purposes.
With so many fraudsters out there, here's how you can protect yourself. 1. Check your credit report frequently. 2. Check your bank statements regularly. 3. Use passwords that are a combination of numbers, letters, and characters. 4. Activate and turn on a two-factor authentication where possible for your bank transactions. 5. Sign up for account alerts where possible. 6. Encrypt and password protect your mobile, tablet, laptop, and computer devices. And 7. Shred documents that contain sensitive data such as bank statements, credit card bills, and your ID number. Personal data has more value today than ever before, and so it's extremely important that we guard and protect it.